Good day, everyone, and welcome to Computer Programming 1. I am excited to have all of you in this class because this subject marks the beginning of your journey as future IT professionals. Throughout this semester, we will discover how computers solve problems, how software is created, and how programming shapes the technology we use every day. Before we begin writing programs using C#, it is important to understand the purpose of programming itself. Many people think programming is simply typing lines of code, but that is only a small part of what programmers actually do. Programming is the process of solving problems by creating clear and organized instructions that computers can understand and execute. Every application on your phone, every website you visit, every online game you play, and even artificial intelligence tools like ChatGPT started with someone identifying a problem and designing a solution. Now that we have an overview of this course, let's answer the most important question. What is computer programming? Computer programming is the process of creating a set of instructions that tells a computer exactly what to do. Think of a computer as a very hard-working employee. It can perform calculations quickly, store large amounts of information, and work continuously without getting tired. However, despite its speed and power, a computer cannot think, guess, or make decisions on its own. It only follows the instructions provided by the programmer. If those instructions are complete and accurate, the computer will produce the correct result. If the instructions are incorrect or incomplete, the computer will still follow them, which often leads to errors. This is why programmers must think carefully before writing a program. Every successful software application starts with a clear plan and a well-defined set of instructions that guide the computer in solving a specific problem. To better understand programming, let's use a simple example from everyday life. Imagine that you ask someone in your family to make you a cup of coffee. If they already know how to prepare coffee, they can do it because they have experience and common sense. Now imagine asking a robot to do the same task. If you only say, "Make me a cup of coffee," the robot will not know where to begin. It doesn't know where the cup is, how much coffee to use, or that the water needs to be hot. Instead, you must explain every step in the correct order. You have to tell the robot to get a cup, add the coffee, boil the water, pour the water into the cup, stir the mixture, and then serve it. Computers work in exactly the same way. They cannot guess missing information or make assumptions. Programming is the process of giving computers clear, detailed, and step-by-step instructions so they can perform tasks correctly and consistently. Have you ever wondered how the applications and websites you use every day actually work? The answer is computer programming. From the moment you wake up and check your phone, you are already interacting with programs created by software developers. When you open Facebook or TikTok, programming loads your account and displays personalized content. When you search for information on Google, programming helps organize and deliver results within seconds. Online shopping platforms like Shopee and Lazada use programming to manage products, process payments, and track deliveries. Even hospitals rely on software to store patient records, while banks use secure systems to process millions of financial transactions every day. Modern vehicles also contain computer programs that control safety features, navigation, and parking assistance. These examples show that programming is not limited to computers. It is part of almost every technology that makes our daily lives easier. Many people believe that programmers spend all day typing lines of code, but that is only one part of their job. The most important responsibility of a programmer is to solve problems. For example, imagine a school where students often forget assignment deadlines. Instead of reminding every student manually, a programmer can develop a learning management system that automatically sends notifications before the due date. Before writing any code, the programmer first studies the problem, gathers information, and plans the best solution. After creating the program, it is carefully tested to make sure it works correctly. If errors are found, the programmer fixes them and continues improving the software based on user feedback. This process may be repeated many times. As you can see, programming is much more than coding. It is about analyzing situations, designing effective solutions, and building technology that helps people accomplish tasks more efficiently. One of the most important skills every programmer must develop is problem solving. Before creating any software, programmers first ask, "What problem am I trying to solve?" Once the problem is clearly identified, they analyze the situation and think of the best possible solution. For example, if a company spends too much time recording employee attendance manually, a programmer might create a digital attendance system that automatically records employee time in and time out. This solution saves time, reduces errors, and improves efficiency. Notice that the programmer did not begin by writing code. Instead, they first understood the problem, planned the solution, and then created the software. Many students believe that only people who are naturally intelligent or exceptionally good at mathematics can become programmers. The truth is that programming is a skill that anyone can learn with dedication and consistent practice. A good programmer is someone who enjoys solving problems and is willing to keep learning even when faced with challenges. Logical thinking helps programmers break down complex tasks into smaller and more manageable steps. Being detail-oriented is equally important, because even a small mistake can affect the entire program. Patience is another essential quality, since software development often involves testing, debugging, and improving multiple times before it works perfectly. Creativity also plays a major role, because programmers are constantly looking for better and more efficient ways to solve problems. Finally, communication and teamwork are important, because programmers usually work with designers, project managers, and clients. Remember, becoming a great programmer is not about being perfect. It is about being willing to learn, improve, and never give up when challenges arise. Now that we understand the qualities of a programmer, let's talk about the tools programmers use to communicate with computers. Humans communicate using spoken and written languages such as English, Filipino, or Bisaya. Computers, however, do not understand these languages. They only understand machine language, which is made up of binary digits, or simply zeros and ones. Writing software directly in binary would be extremely difficult and time-consuming. To make programming easier, developers use programming languages such as C#, Java, Python, JavaScript, and C++. These languages allow programmers to write instructions using words and symbols that are easier for humans to understand. A compiler or interpreter then translates those instructions into machine language, so the computer can execute them. Throughout this course, we will focus on C#, a powerful programming language used for desktop applications, web systems, business software, and game development. Learning one programming language well will also make it easier to understand and learn other languages in the future, because they all share many of the same programming concepts. As we continue this course, we will follow a step-by-step learning journey designed to help you become confident in programming. We will not jump directly into writing complex programs, because every successful programmer starts by understanding the fundamentals. First, we will learn computational thinking, which teaches us how to analyze problems and think logically. Next, we will study algorithms and flowcharts, which help us organize solutions before writing code. Once you understand these concepts, we will begin learning the basics of C#, including variables, data types, input and output, decision, making statements, loops, and methods. Each topic will prepare you for the next, allowing you to gradually build your skills and confidence. By the end of the semester, you will apply everything you have learned to create simple but functional programs. Remember that programming is a journey, not a race. The more you practice each lesson, the stronger your problem-solving skills and programming abilities will become. Before we end today's lesson, let's review the important concepts we have discussed. We learned that computer programming is the process of creating clear and organized instructions that tell a computer how to perform specific tasks. We also discovered that computers cannot think, guess, or make decisions on their own. They simply follow the instructions provided by the programmer. Throughout the lesson, we saw that programming is not only about writing code, but more importantly, about solving real-world problems. Every application, website, game, and digital system that we use today exists because programmers design solutions for people's needs. We also discussed the qualities of a successful programmer, including logical thinking, patience, creativity, attention to detail, and a willingness to keep learning. As you continue this course, remember that becoming a programmer takes time and consistent practice. Every lesson you complete will help you build the skills needed to create useful software and solve meaningful problems in the future.